satisfying in that regard. Up next is Strike the Blood. In a world ruled by 3 almighty vampire progenitors, there exists a 4th one. A thing of legend, a vampire so powerful that he keeps the balance of the world in check. Now, you wouldn't expect someone like him to be an ordinary high school boy, right? Neither does Kojo Akatsuki, but his identity as the 4th progenitor does attract a lot of unwanted attention, much to his chagrin. Fearing his capabilities, the Lion King organization sends a personal watchdog, the apprentice sword shaman Yukina. However, mishaps and their shared awkwardness would bring the two together into alliance and deep friendship. That's a good thing because they're going to need every bit of power to defend Itogami Island against numerous supernatural threats. Meanwhile, the duo also have to deal with the swathes of girls that just seem to gravitate towards Kojo. A personal favorite of mine in the early 2000s, Strike the Blood is your typical simple and formulaic popcorn entertainment show full of action and ecchi. A lot of cool powers, some genuinely enjoyable character dynamics, and a plot with a surprising amount of layers make the show a fun show to unwind to. Also notable is how the series is currently in its 4th season and it's looking to be on pace for a near completion adaptation, something remarkable for anime of this genre. Next in line, Date Alive. Spirits. Special beings that exist and bring about disasters. There are 2 ways to deal with them. Option number 1, eradicate them with military force. Option number 2, date them and make them fall in love. That spiel basically tells you what you need to know about this show. Our lucky contender this time is Shido, who gets forcibly recruited in the organization Ratatoska. Led by his sister Kotori, he learns that he has the power to deal with the danger posed by spirits. A really easy way that doesn't involve any direct fighting. All he has to do is date the spirit, make her fall in love, and seal the deal with a kiss. With such a unique ability, Shido finds the fate of the world resting on his shoulders, and it's all up to his romantic prowess to save the day. Cute girls, supernatural powers, and a bit of fan service is a tried and tested formula, and Date Alive is a testament to that. The premise might make it seem to be one of those weird Japanese series, however, Date Alive really went the extra mile and actually came up with a rather dark and serious plot that managed to weave together an unexpectedly deep lore and a lot of twists. It's really something genius that only Japan can come up with, and that's what makes this one of my favorite harems of all time. 3 seasons, a movie, and a spin-off are out, but with this series still maintaining a decent amount of popularity, I wouldn't be surprised to see this get a full adaptation somewhere down the line.
どうしてこの子はこんなに強いのに。
あの人の髪と一緒だ。赤いストロベリーブロンドよりもさらに紅の髪。この手を染めた色と同じだ。
Why not make it 3 in a row for supernatural action light novel harems? Let's cap the chain off with a series that's left its mark on the genre, High School DxD. There are many words to describe Issei Hyodo, but the most prominent and accurate of them would be, probably, pervert. Dreaming of one day having a harem of his own, things seem to be looking up for him when he gets asked out on a date by a beautiful girl. First dates never pan out. Just ask Kaneki, who likewise had to endure a similar fate by Issei being killed by the girl on his very first date. Luckily for him, Rias Gremory, the school's prettiest girl and a devil, finds him and revives him as her servant while subsequently recruiting him into the school's occult research club. Now in his second life, Issei must learn to fight and survive in the brutal world of angels and devils where danger lurks in every corner. Oh, and don't forget to mention the lewd moments with new comrades too. While a lot of you would have known High School DxD for the plot, all caps of course, I'll come out and say that it also has one hell of a compelling plot. You don't carve out a legacy like the show has with only fan service, and I just find it amazing how such an intriguing story has been masterfully weaved between the numerous risque moments. High School DxD for most people is fan service personified, and the main attraction is definitely the beautiful girls and the ecchi, but I would also gladly vouch for its plot. If you're up for probably the perfect combination of plot in caps and plot in small letters, come join the DxD train. You won't be disappointed.
君はとっくに一番を取ってるよ。僕の心の中で。
Next, we take a look at The World God Only Knows. Gamer Katsuragi is known as the god of conquest, the famed personality who can conquer any girl's heart. in visual novels. In reality, he wants nothing to do with the world of romance, girls, and all that sort of stuff. After all, 2D is king, and who needs romantic partners when you can have waifus who would never betray you, right? Thanks to his overconfidence, he gets roped into a brand new mission. With the demon Elsie as his guide, he gets tasked with retrieving runaway spirits who've escaped from hell and want nothing but trouble. Only problem is that he can only do that by conquering the hearts of real girls. The actual, unpredictable kind, mind you. Not computer data. Now, he must apply his skills from his favorite visual novels as he's forced to win the affection of numerous girls. How will the legendary god of conquest fare once the predictability of video games gets taken away? Despite having a premise that's somewhat similar with the previously featured Data Live, the world God Only Knows executes its plot in a very different manner. Eschewing action and explosions in favor of drama and comedy, the world God Only Knows provides its own fresh take on the solve supernatural problems by romancing them premise to provide a very engaging watch.
違います。私たち5つ子の姉妹です。
Our third place for this list is the quintessential quintuplets. Ace high school student Futaro has it rough. He doesn't have a lot of friends, and he's sorely lacking in the financial department. However, a bright light shines at the end of the tunnel of family debt, and it comes in the form of a tutoring job. Imagine his surprise when his tutee turns out to be Itsuki, a girl that's not on best terms with him. Also, Itsuki doesn't come alone. She's revealed to be one of a quintuplet of sisters, and Futaro's job is to tutor all 5 of them. Helping all 5 of them graduate despite their flunking grades is already a Herculean task, and that's not even getting to juggling their personalities. Should I mention that all 5 of them start falling for Futaro for their own reasons? Looks like our hero might have just bitten off more than he could chew. Harems are aplenty in the world of anime, especially those involving schools and couples that have so much friction between them. But for the quintessential quintuplets, something just clicks. For me, it's probably the attractive characters who come together and come out with some special kind of chemistry. I just love the show for its character interactions and dynamics, and from there, it maneuvers its way to one of the more interesting plots that you can expect out of a harem title. It's certainly got a rather divisive manga ending, but with its second season airing, let's see if the anime follows suit. Oh!
あなたさっきの
Since we already talked about Rent-A-Girlfriend, how about the show that's quite comparable in setting, Nisekoi? Yakuza heir Raku Ichijo has many things on his mind, one of which is the promise he made 10 years ago to a childhood friend. He remembers little of the incident, but he does carry around a locked pendant, which can only be unlocked by the key held by the promised girl. Now a high schooler, Raku wants nothing more than to have an ordinary life. Tough luck for him when he encounters Kirisaki, heir to the rival Beehive gang. In order to prevent all hell from breaking loose, they decide to fake a relationship despite their immense differences in unmatching personalities. Adding to the problem is the fact that Raku really has his eyes on his classmate, Kosaki Onodera. With more and more mercurial elements in the form of girls having a claim to be Raku's promised girl adding to the picture, looks like Raku is going to have more than he can handle. I think for many of you, Nisekoi needs little introduction. It's probably the quintessential harem/rom-com of the 2010s that spawned probably some of the biggest waifu wars that I've ever laid witness to. I could never get tired of watching Raku and the gang as they go through one misadventure after another in the quest for finding true love. Topping off our list is Sekano, a stroke of inspiration. It can strike like a flash, and it sure as hell is powerful. For Otaku Tomoya, it comes in the form of a fateful encounter with a girl. Brimming with inspiration, he recruits legendary creators, the artist Eriri Sawamura Spencer, and top student and big-time author Utaha, wanting nothing more than to make the best game starring the mysterious girl. Unfortunately, the girl of his dreams ends up being the docile and plain and boring Megumi Kato. Nevertheless, Tomoya is determined to make his vision a success. No matter what stands in their way, Tomoya's group will stop at nothing to create the greatest visual novel featuring the greatest heroine ever. I place Sekano at the top of the list for several reasons. The show's just so relatable for a big anime fan like me, and I really enjoyed watching the interactions and the development among the characters. It's a show that you probably aren't supposed to take too seriously with its ecchi jokes, or could moments and plethora of comedy segments. Nonetheless, I found the series just chock full of touching scenes and developments, and it's one of the shows that I can truly say I got really immersed in. If you're the type who's into shows with otaku references and lots of upbeat moments sandwiched between character drama, then don't pass this one up. Now quit stalling and start watching the series from the start to end with its 2 seasons and the movie which caps off the whole story. How's that for a selection of harem titles to reach your quota of cute and sexy this Valentine's Day? I've got a lot more harem shows that I'd love to feature, but alas, I've only got space for 10, haven't I? With your support, I could consider making a second list, so go ahead and hit those like and subscribe buttons. Normally, I'd ask you to write down your recommendations for future titles or lists on the comment section, but for this video, let's try something different. How about this time sharing your favorite girl from the featured shows on this list, and we can see who's the most popular one out there. Let's play nice and show some love this Valentine's season. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to come back next time for more anime goodness only on ViniTube.